probably watched a bunch of videos on how to fall asleep faster. I have. I know you have, because who hasn't, guys? Who hasn't been laying in their bed trying to fall asleep and she's not happening? It is like you get more thoughts, you feel more active than you did the whole day. It's so brain dead, yeah. But there are a couple of strategies you can use to fall asleep faster, or that they market to you to try and fall asleep faster. Like, I know there's one called like the Marine Commando method, where like basically you imagine you're on a boat or a hammock and you look at the ocean or the sky and you like try to visualize clouds, and then those like thumbnails say like 20-second sleep trick. Yeah, it's not 20 seconds, bro, they're bullshitting. And then my dad's got this one where like you just close your eyes and don't open until you go to sleep. That's his method. That sucks in my opinion, but my head to my dad is a goat. Then there's some like weird Buddhist practices like breath meditation, which is like, it's good for you, but like I fall asleep even slower when I try to do this one. Or this stuff like you start with your toes and you work your way up, trying to just like feel feelings and stuff. Honestly, it's all BS, bro. Like, the best method in my opinion is just take melatonin tablets when you need to. I haven't ever, because my mom would like throw me out of the house for like taking drugs, bro. You know how it is. But like a big day or something, just take the tablets because you may need it. Like, it's alright like once in a while. Obviously long term may not be good for you, but I've got one little hack which in my opinion actually does work, and there is science to back it up, and I might reference it or I may just make it up. No, I'll actually put studies in here. But this is how I fall asleep. Not quickly, like not like 20 seconds. Yeah, it still takes me like 30 minutes sometimes, but hey, it's like it beats being up for years. And this is just stretching. I found it helps. Damn, this light sucks. But basically, for the next like 5-ish minutes, I'm going to show you a video of me stretching in a little tank top that's like 3 sizes too small. What the hell is that on my face? And yeah, so enjoy that, and happy catching Z's. Alright, now let's go into the specifics of my stretch routine. We're going to start from the very bottom of our body and work our way up to the very top of our body. So, like a pyramid, the blocks at the bottom take the most weight, and the same thing goes for the muscles at the bottom of your body, which are your calves. Your calves take a lot of that weight, so you need to stretch them out. Otherwise, you get tons of calf cramps. Like, I often get calf cramps, and stretching your calf is the best way to avoid calf cramps. Now, by the way, like, if you get cramps anywhere, just stretch that. Just keep consistently stretching your muscle there, and that will avoid cramps, like I'm doing now for my hamstring. I have some, other hamstring issues which come from sciatica, piriformis syndrome, some other stuff, which again, with the piriformis syndrome, I'll show you how to stretch the piriformis muscle to avoid getting piriformis syndrome. But is any stretch routine complete without a hamstring stretch? The most important thing to stretch is your hamstring. So, like I'm doing now, stretch them out. Now we've got the piriformis stretch. You probably haven't heard of this one because it's quite a rare stretch. You don't really see it much, and not many people even know what the piriformis even is. But I'm giving you a thumbs up now, because the piriformis is a very important muscle because keeping this muscle healthy could prevent a lot of spinal diseases down the line. The reason I know is I've got a couple, I've got a kind of serious spinal injury, and this kind of works in conjunction with the piriformis syndrome to give me sciatica, right? And for many people, because your piriformis is a muscle in your glutes, and because you sit down on your ass for the whole day, basically, that pressure on your glutes will actually give you a lot of, leading towards, it can give you a predisposition. So try to avoid, sitting down a lot. But if you do sit down a lot, stretch your glutes and stretch your piriformis. That concludes Oh no, we got one more exercise for our legs, which is our quad stretching. Now the quads are the biggest muscle group in our body, and therefore it's really important that because it's such a big muscle group in our body, we exercise it and stretch it really well. Because if you imagine all the tension in our body is spread out over all our muscles, the quads will get the majority of it because the quads are the biggest. So that's something that you can do. Stretch your quads. They're quite easy to stretch. Just do it like I'm doing now. And that concludes our lower, like the portion of this video that encompasses the lower body, right? So you can even stop here because the majority of the stretching requirements are for your lower body. There isn't too much need to stretch the upper body all the time, but for completion's sake, let's get into some back stretches. Now, like I'm doing now, you stretch your back out. Your back is the biggest muscle in your upper body. I'm pretty sure it's bigger than the other stuff, but yeah, you want to stretch that out because that can hold a lot of tension, especially because you've been hunched over all day doing schoolwork or, you know, on your computer or whatever. So stretch your back out so you can get all that tension released and sleep peacefully. And remember, but like this whole stretch routine is to actually make you sleep better. So don't push too hard and hurt yourself. Just be as comfortable as possible so then you can go to sleep easier. Anyway, now let's do, I think it's shoulder. Yeah, cool. Some shoulder blade stretches. So you can do some, you know, circles like that, cheeky bicep flex. You can do whatever you want. But just try and get that shoulder joint, you know, a bit of motion. You know, get them like that shoulder joint nice and lubed up. Because I don't know exactly why, but it feels really good to stretch that part. Now, this is the most basic textbook stretch in the entire stretch book, and it's kind of like the white Air Forces of stretching for your upper body. It's like, it's basic, but the reason it's basic and so well known is because it's very, very good. Because this stretches your back, your shoulders, and your triceps, even your biceps to some extent, but that's kind of a stretch, no, literally. But overall, this is a great stretch and stretches many muscles in your upper body. So I would recommend doing this one when you can. Hang on. Alright, now we're going to go into our neck. Now, this probably surprises you as well, because have you ever heard of neck stretching? But the reason, the reason we stretch on, so I'm saying bring your shoulder down and bring your head to the side, and that will stretch your neck. And the reason we stretch our neck is because if you think about it, our neck can literally turn 180 degrees. It can do a lot of stuff. It can go spin in circles, but we don't actually use all of this potential. And if you've ever heard of muscle atrophy, if you don't use it, you lose it. So if you don't use that function, your neck will start to decay and you lose neck size, which is important to look more masculine, a bit of a looks maxing point, but also it can make you a bit more sick and, like, you know, it can give you some pain. Anyway, we've started from our toes, we've gone to our head. This is the entire stretch routine. Now I'll play you a couple chords on my guitar so you can go to sleep even easier because you're so harmoniously enthralled and relaxed by my chords. So, and also PayPal, like wipe my teeth up. That's a separate video. I'm gonna have to make a video on how to get nice teeth, because like I should be a teeth influencer, teeth model. Anyway, remember guys, the whole point of this stretch routine was for one purpose: go to sleep. So now, good night, and I will see you in the morning. And a bit like my last piece of advice, yeah, just sleep, bro. I don't even know what to say.